So I'm going to go through the fundamental tenets of Microtopia. Microtopia is, the concept is, it's hard to influence things at the national level, but we can influence things at the community level. So we can bring the levers of control to the community level without creating, Ku Klux Klan run backwaters, but bring the money and the control back to the community. People will benefit tremendously. So these are the motivation for this originally was that we had this terrible deficit and how to pay it off back in the late 80s. And so what I looked at was the people who consume taxes in this country and the people who produce taxes in this country. And so I created this diagram here, which is basically an XY coordinate system for productive and non-productive and functional to non-functional. So quadrant 1 would be people that are both productive and functional. That means that they are adequately trained and adequately sane and healthy to be at their best by and large, and that they're deployed into industries and occupations that actually provide real value to society. Now, this other square, I believe, is the functional but non-productive. So these are people that are quite capable and perhaps are trained, but they're deployed into a part of our economy that doesn't directly generate wealth, such as defense, which guards wealth but doesn't create it, and analysis of whether something is productive or non-productive is a very, very difficult question in traditional economics, because one man's meat is another man's poison. Everyone's supposed to be free to carry on for their own utilities. But what we'll find is, because of human insecurity that is built into the capitalist system, that it produces all of this non-productive work. A lot of it dealing with managing the poor, which is a non-productive, non-functional people. They are not deployed into an area that generates wealth, and they are not trained, or perhaps they have a drug or alcohol problem or some emotional problem related to poverty and violence and all that begets. And then we have people that are non-functional but productive. This is the employed impaired. So you have 4 basic quadrants of society. If we can get everyone into the productive functional quadrant of society, then all of our problems are clearly over. Our crime goes down, productivity goes up, the amount of taxes we need goes down because we don't have to support this impaired sector of our economy. So the question is, why is our corporate structure neglecting so badly the middle class ability to develop? So my basic proposal is that money not go outside of communities to Washington and Sacramento when the communities are middle placed in the country, neutral, and that they essentially can buy into national collectives and buying pools and systems if they wish to, but we can keep the money at the community level. So what's a community? Well, I analyzed taking all the occupation in the United States and boiling it down into a little miniaturized system where you had 10,000 workers total. And in doing that, we look at what people actually produce in the economy. And what we find is that you could actually produce all the things that are needful for people with about 25% of your labor output. And then in that, okay.